episode of F1 to the Max by Studio Scoop.
I'm Arjun,
I'm Priyanka.
and did we see a great race on this weekend, man?
Arjun, it was the best race I have seen in such a long time. And aka F1 Yoda, you have to give me a breakdown of how much drama.
Oh my God, there was so much of drama, chills and spills, everything from people spinning out to a major crash to red flag to everything. So let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it because I really want to know what was happening. First lap itself, what the fuck was happening in the first lap?
Okay, so Sir Lewis Hamilton, he qualified first. All right, you had Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, who was third and second respectively. They got a good start off the line. The race was supposed to be a dry race, but it started raining. And when rain comes into play, all the strategy gets thrown out of order, and everybody thinks about how to deal with the entire situation. So when they first got out of the line, you could see like a pincer movement which they were doing towards Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen in a very gentle way. He said, "Excuse me, sir, let me take the lead." And he just bolted across and he just went ahead. The fight between them two continued for almost 10 laps after that.
Yeah, it was crazy. And you know what I could not understand, or what happens when the racetracks get wet because of the rain? I mean, how does the strategy change?
Okay, so actually what happens during a wet race is that there is still a little bit of standing water on the track, as a result of which the tires that they generally use are full slick tires, so they don't have any grooves on it. When I say grooves, they actually contain outlets of water to funnel out the water.
Oh.
So when you funnel out the water, you are able to get grip on the track. So they were
basically they didn't have enough grip on
exactly.
the track.
So you have to change your driving style changes, your entire
Strategy
approach to the race changes.
Wow, but I must say that there was a lot of overtaking drama which happened.
Oh my God, that was something else altogether. Like because of these variable conditions that were happening, as a result of which everyone was looking that, okay, fine, where can I find the opportunity to overtake? And this,
Yeah.
as you saw, didn't you find the track quite narrow? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when the race started, I could just see those three cars gunning out, and the rest were way behind. But you know better what was happening.
So they were actually trying to overtake each other, but since the track was being so narrow, they had to adjust the way they overtake and adjust the way they drive. As a result of which, we saw a very rare mistake by Lewis. So he was able to fight back with Max Verstappen, but he went into the pits, and Mercedes created a 4-second pit stop.
Wow.
Now, 4 seconds might seem a very less amount of time, but Max Verstappen was able to do his pit stop in 2.3 seconds.
Are you serious? 4 second pit stop is long. I have like 4 hour meetings happening at times, and those are not long enough.
Well, that 4 second is more coordinated than all the meetings that you actually have. but they really did struggle. As a result of which, Lewis Hamilton was under pressure, so he had to make up places. So he was overtaking back markers. Now, when I say back markers, these are people who have pace do not match the front runners' pace. So he was overtaking people who were 20th, 18th, 19th, 17th, 16th. And we had one person that he was overtaking, George Russell, who was a part of a major crash. We will come to that as well.
Yeah.
And he was able to. He was trying to overtake him. As a result of which, he went onto the wet patch. As a result of which, he was unable to get the grip, and he was almost going to go into the wall.
Yeah.
As a result of which, he had to reverse back on track and was almost lapped. It took him time to get back to the pace of the front runners and all that. Meanwhile, my God, his luck is amazing, because you saw George Russell trying to overtake Valtteri Bottas, who's the teammate of Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes. What happened was that now throughout the race, Valtteri Bottas was not able to match the pace of Lewis Hamilton. He was struggling because of the variable conditions again. So George Russell, in the hunt for his first points, since Williams has not been able to score points for the past 3 years almost, he tried to overtake them, and they've got like a good infrastructure right now and a good technical support, and the car is developing well as well. So they had the opportunity to go for some major points this time. So he tried to overtake Valtteri Bottas from the outside, but He again went onto a wet patch as well on the main straight, which caused him to T-bone Valtteri Bottas, as a result of which they had a major crash. Did you see the crash?
Yes, I saw it and I couldn't believe I was seeing a crash on F1 track after such a long time, because now the cars are much more technically sane, as they call them.
Yes, they are the safety precautions are quite a lot, and this crash happened about at around 234 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and they walked away from it. As you saw as well, there were some creative exchanges that had been taken place between George Russell and Valtteri Bottas.
Well, I can relate to it, but in a way that you want to win the race or at least finish the race, and it was
Like if you get into a crash over here during in Bombay or something, like a small bumper to bumper, how people get so wild.
Wild.
Imagine these people at 234, emotions running high, and they still have the energy because they have cheated death. And they have almost been like really lucky to get out of this entire thing.
Yeah.
Plus the safety precautions as well.
Yeah.
And this entire incident is what caused the red flag to happen.
Yeah, I saw. And then, honestly, what has been transpiring after the crash on social media, we all are seeing it
Yeah.
as well. The nice apology coming out.
But for me, what I would think is that, all right, fine. If George Russell would have made that overtake, he would have been like, oh, the next best superstar to come into place.
Definitely.
He tried his luck. It didn't go through it. But okay, fine. Like,
At least he tried. He
Yeah.
tried saving his car.
you do
from the crash.
take risks in sports that way. You try to do better always, like,
Yeah.
and try to maximize your opportunity whenever you get it, right?
So, F1 Yoda, what is a safety car? I used to think it's a car which comes out to slow the cars behind, so that something.
You are partly right about that. So if there's some hazardous conditions which are developing on the track,
Mhm.
the safety car is called out. Or if there's like major debris which happened because of this crash, so they bring out the safety car as well.
Mhm.
But adding on to this, they had also a red flag, which
Mhm.
means the race is stopped.
Okay.
So the entire race gets reset.
Mhm.
Now what happened in this case is that you can restart the race either from standing start, which is how you saw the race in the beginning on the first lap, or you can have a rolling start.
Okay.
So in the rolling start, the safety car comes back. It does 2-3 installation laps where the people follow the car, the safety car, and then afterwards you resume racing as the safety car veers into the pits.
Oh.
All right. And there was some drama before that also, because when the
Alright.
safety car veered in,
Mhm.
Max Verstappen was in quotes trying to warm his tire, and he skid out as well. Luckily, he controlled it, but that was the only mistake that he made after that for the entire race, because he just bolted and won with almost like a 20-second lead after that.
Yeah, that was a big lead. Now that we all know that most of the cars are having only a 10-second lead, again, having a 20-second lead was a big thing.
Well,
for
that's
him.
his talent, and that's the kind of focus that guy has, man. Like, he
Yeah.
can really he can really, like, I really do think that we have a good championship fight this year.
So my loyalties are shifting towards Max, I will be honest. But this race did have some underdogs, don't you feel?
Okay, why Max? Because Lewis Hamilton, no matter what, he was one lap down. He still managed to finish second. And the overtakes that he did,
Yeah.
and there were like a lot of underdogs, as you saw, right?
Yeah.
Your McLaren, your Ferrari. Yes, we are talking Ferrari as an underdog right now because of the bad season that they had.
Sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry out there, all the Ferrari fans, but they are a little bit of an underdog this year. They really provided a lot of drama and a lot of sensational overtake and a sensational fight on the track as well.
Yeah, but what is happening to our new chap who's just joined the Ferrari wings?
Oh, so Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz, it was an amazing teamwork that they did, in which they were able to finish fourth and fifth,
Mhm.
and they just controlled the race really very well. But the more important fact I want to talk about is Lando Norris from McLaren.
Mhm.
McLaren has been in this slump for the longest time. To see them up there fighting for podium position. By the way, he did finish third. He did create a lot of tough time for Lewis Hamilton to get that second position as well. And it was amazing to see the way he literally controlled the race, the way he wanted to cement his position. Because so the fight is basically between Mercedes and Red Bull for top honors. For the third position, Ferrari and McLaren seem to be the outstanding candidates, and they're really pushing each other. Ferrari in the form of the teamwork, McLaren with the Mercedes engine have reached another level.
Wow.
I see it becoming more and more interesting as the season progresses.
Yeah, I do have my favorites too. I will be always a Ferrari fan, but I do see these underdogs coming
I will
out.
always be an Alpha Tauri fan for that matter.
Yay, we have our own
I
teams
cannot,
too.
I cannot, because I like the way Pierre Gasly also, he did damage control for his race because they put him onto the wrong tires in the beginning. And then afterwards, he lost a lot of positions. And the red flag event actually helped him out.
Okay.
So he was able to finish 7th. But the person who finished 6th, Lance Stroll from Aston Martin, he was given a penalty for an illegal overtake under the safety car. So you can't overtake when the safety car is going on as well.
Yeah.
You cannot overtake as well. So he did an illegal overtake, as a result of which he got a 5-second penalty. So he finished 6th. Although I thought that he would finish more higher, but nonetheless, like he
Yeah.
did a great damage control for the entire race.
Yeah, that's great. So honestly, after this race, I've realized that each track is very different.
Yes.
And people say this is one of the toughest tracks to conquer. Do you
Yes,
agree?
it is a tough track to conquer, as well as quite a dangerous track, because my favorite driver as well, Ayrton Senna, lost his life on this track. They did a lot of changes after that, which have made this track actually quite safe. But the drama still continues on, and
Yeah.
the sensationalism of the race that we witnessed was something amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Portimao. Portimao
Yeah.
is the next Grand Prix.
Yes.
It's going to happen in Portugal. It is going to be an amazing race as well.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm
know
looking
anything about
forward-
the track?
No, I was reading about it, but I would love to hear from you what to expect in the next race.
Okay, so imagine SL World at 200 kilometers per hour.
Are you serious?
It's a roller coaster. There are so many undulations. There are blind turns. It's a short track, but there are many changes. The wind, as I told you before, like in the previous podcast, these
Yeah.
cars are very sensitive to wind.
Mhm.
So the wind plays an important part as well. And funny enough, this was the same track last year where Lewis Hamilton broke Michael Schumacher's record of the most number of wins.
Oh, interesting. So I think we're gonna see some more records breaking this year.
Yeah, 100%. You were telling me about some record that he broke for this as well, right?
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton. He got the 99th pole position.
Yes, so that means 99 times he has started the race at P1.
Lucky person, I must say.
Yes, he is lucky, but also you cannot forego his talent. His
Yes.
talent is comes once in a decade that way.
Yeah, I agree. And now with all the drama, I am so wanting to see the next race. I hope we all get to see it together with the continuing lockdown in our city.
Yes, so we can always stream it online, and Hotstar does an amazing job of streaming it online.
Yes.
You guys can find out more stuff about Formula One by downloading the app. There are a number of YouTube channels also that you can watch. Autosport has a very good YouTube channel which covers F1 very well. You also have The Race, which covers F1 quite well. And yeah, you follow their Instagram handle as well. They're quite good.
Thanks for tuning in. This was our second episode of F1 to the Max. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and also on the Anchor FM app by the name studioscoops.com. I am a big novice when it comes to F1, but now, thanks to F1 Yoda, I have started understanding a lot more about F1, and these interesting conversations are at least making me a bit more intelligent to share the game or the sport with my friends. I hope you enjoy too.
Maybe you would commentate about it one day.
I would love to, and I would love to do it at the racetrack.
Amazing. That would be amazing.
But signing off for now, and guys, hit us up wherever you find and share.
Like and comment.
Yes.